Good morning, this is Brenda Nevitt, and I am recording my PMS. In America, I think we struggle with a problem that is just across the board, that somehow in life we get the idea that if certain things happen in our life, we will be able to always conclude our story with, and they lived happily ever after. We think that if we can just meet the right person and get married to them, and if we have the perfect family or that great, incredible job, um, and just that life will immediately begin to fall into place. For some people, once they make the decision for Christ, they think that that automatically means no more problems, no more worries. God will take care of everything. And when we live in that kind of fantasy that it is always going to be a happily ever after story, just the way we worked it out in our mind that it would happen, when life happens, when circumstances happen, it really becomes our problem. And my story is a lot about that happily ever after didn't happen the way that I had thought it would. I thought as I grew old I would have two girls with grandchildren, I would have a husband to grow old with, and that just didn't happen for me. And my message is going to be one of sharing how in the midst of it all, you can turn that story around. Just because life has thrown some unexpected things your way doesn't mean your life is over. It does mean that you're going to have to look at some things in a different perspective. And so 3 things that I will be sharing in my keynote message is, the first one is to remember what you have. So often when life throws unexpected things at you, like when I've lost my husband, all we can see is the problem. All we can see is the tragedy or the circumstances. And so it kind of blinds us so that we cannot see past it. We can't see around us. And so the first thing that I'm going to talk to him about is the importance of looking around you and seeing what you still have. You still have so much in life to be thankful for. That will put things in a different perspective. The second thing that I will be talking about is remember what God has done for you in the past. And so often when circumstance hit us full force, we totally forget how God has brought us through many, many circumstances. And when we can take a step back and look at what He has done for us in the past, it helps us to be able to get the right perspective to believe Him for the future. And the third thing that I'm going to talk about is there are going to be times in life that there is no way we're going to understand what has happened or how we're going to move forward. And there are going to have to be times that we just say, God, I trust you. I trust you that somehow you're going to turn this around for good. In my life, in 2013, when the roof literally felt like it had fallen in on me with extreme sickness and my mom, almost losing my mom with 2 heart attacks, and then BG, my awesome, incredible husband, was killed very suddenly in a motorcycle accident. It felt like my world had crumbled. But God has turned it around, and these principles have helped me. And so what I really want to do, what I just feel is a mission for me, is to be able to share some of these things with people, to give them hope that, yeah, it may not be happily ever after the way you thought it would be, but that doesn't mean that life is over. That doesn't mean that there isn't happiness in your future. That doesn't mean that God isn't going to turn it around in your life. And that is the message that I'm just passionate about. And I'm believing God's going to use me in that way.